Welcome along, everybody, to a brand new season in the PenPower European V8 Supercar Championship. Andrew Woodhouse here alongside Alex Simpson for Apex Racing TV. And Alex, we're really excited to be bringing another season to the viewers at home because we've got the biggest grid I think we've ever had, and we're sure to have some of the best competition we've ever had as well.
Yeah, hello everybody. Really looking forward to this championship. If the media day has anything to go by, what we're going to get for this one, it is going to be an absolute epic season. So fantastic outing at Watkins Glen, and yeah, just hoping to see much of the same thing. Start the championship off with Mid-Ohio. Great course, perhaps a little tricky to overtake, although. Yeah. The Euro V8, well, just the V8 generally, can, you can get that power down, it can be a bit of an issue, so it might allow people to get that run down the back straight or maybe into the hairpin, so we'll have to wait and see how it pans out. But like you said, 42 cars have turned up for this one, in what is probably one of the shorter circuits that we're going to see this season as well. Right. So we were commenting just before we came on the actual air how difficult quali's going to be. Drivers struggling to find a clear track out there, people aborting laps, people queuing up to get out of the final corner. So yeah, it's tricky, and that's a great aerial shot. You can just see how busy the track was there. Great.
We saw 4 or 5 cars coming around the last couple of corners trying to get any kind of space. It's only a 3.6 kilometre course, Alex, and there's 42 cars. My maths is usually fairly decent, but that's only about what? Is that 100? That's 100 meters per car or something, isn't it? So it's just about 150 meters per car. That's not a lot of space, is it?
It's not going to be a lot. No, exactly. So this is going to be, going to be an interesting race. Of course, I
reckon
format tonight.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say the format tonight, obviously one sort of shorter sprint race and then a feature race after that. We have a little break and the drivers just have a bit of a warm-up ready for the feature race as well. And
they're going to get warmed up just nicely in these 20 laps, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I think battling with each other, I think they're going to be glad for the break, not necessarily the practice, I think.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. They might just sit it out, though. So we'll disappear for a break while that goes on. So I appreciate all, I'm sorry for all the iRacing adverts that you'll get halfway through there. But for those that are tuning in now, don't think the first race is all we've got, because the feature race will be a great one. It has a reverse grid on it, and we'll see, some drivers obviously coming through from the back with what could be, like I say, very interesting, with this circuit being very challenging to overtake.
I think, like you mentioned, I don't think that there's going to be a hell of a lot of overtaking on the track in terms of sheer passing through speed. But what I do think we're going to get is we're going to see mistakes being made, drivers having spins and drivers going off the track, because it's a tricky one. Is Mid-Ohio? We've driven here in the past, mainly in the IndyCar, I have to say. And one thing that I noticed, especially when driving that, is that, I mean, there's no runoff area, let's face it. It's all grass. The curves are fairly small, so you can't really take the mickey with those either on the outside. So you have to be precise, and I think we'll see that's what the following drivers are really going to be relying on. I think today is going to be just, can they force the driver into a mistake?
There's a note to us which I want to bring up on air as well, which is about the paints. Something must have been raised, obviously, behind the scenes. Now, we want to obviously raise it to all the drivers when you watch this one back. I've deleted every paint. If your paint is not on the car in this one, please get it over to the admin so they can add it to the paint pack. If you have a white car today, I'm very sorry. It's because it's not in the paint pack. What we won't do, is we often throughout the week keep getting updates on Facebook. It's a nightmare for us. Please get them sent over to the admins to add to the paint pack. It's the only way we can keep track of what paints are what. Obviously, people saying, oh, my paint's wrong, this wrong and that, and it's a nightmare for us when we're getting paint thrown at us from all over the place. So please send it to the admins, get it added to the paint pack. We'll have no issues.
And the key thing is, get it sent to the admins in time.
Yeah, exactly.
And
again, we have had what, 3 Three
this,
tonight within the last hour and a half.
this is just a friendly
New
note,
ones.
and we are being friendly about it. We are being, having a little bit of a jovial sort of thing about it. But I will say, like, if there's a deadline for the paints to be in the paint pack, and the admins have told you that there's a deadline to be in the pack, don't like decide to make a new livery and go, oh, I need my new livery to be put on. Like, if you've got a new sponsor, if you've got a new color scheme, whatever, you'll have to wait till the following week, or you get it into the admins on time. The admins work hard, so you help them out as well, and it helps us out too. And that's what we want to say. So that's kind of all we've got on that. But I'm really, really looking forward to the meeting, and I want to, be so positive going into this season, because, as Alex said, we had a brilliant media day, and I have to say as well, and this isn't a secret, really, is that for a race that didn't count for the championship, it was one of the best driven, cleanest driven, and most competitive races I've seen on iRacing in quite some time. And that says a lot compared to some others. I'm not going to go into it any more than that, Alex, but you know exactly what I mean, and I think the viewers at home do too. So, congratulations to the drivers. I must admit, media days don't always fill me with that much excitement, because I want to get into the championship. I want to get going. But last week, it made me so happy that we covered it, and that we made a great show of it. And I know everybody that saw it enjoyed it. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's all about great racing. It's all about pushing the drivers, and the drivers know, Alex. And one of the reasons why Media Day was such a brilliant event was the drivers know that they've got it tough this season. There's so much competition at the front. You look at Michael Taliancic, actually isn't here today, which he's the reigning champion, so he's actually not at this meeting. We've got the former champion Tony Kloosterman. He was injured at the end of last season, so he's back. Rafał Kaczarczyk, who didn't do that many races last season, but the season before was the runner-up, he's back. Victor Tanaka's back. Jake Blackhall's in there, Australian driver. He's going to be very fast indeed, and that joins Alex, some of the British drivers in the field as well, like Johnny Brandon, Michael Evdoka, Daniel Hunt's in there. You've got also Domin Gantar, who's very strong. We'll see him come through the field later on. We could see some surprises here tonight and throughout the entire championship, I feel.
I think so. I think it's going to be a very close championship as well. So, which is what we want to see. We want to see it go down to the wire. And it's good to see some returning faces and some new ones as well that are going to be quick. So yeah, this could be interesting as well. Obviously, there's a lot more than just the overall championship for grabs. There's all the different ones that the guys run. So we'll try and keep an eye on that as well. So throughout the season, but of course you've got the overall. There's the pro. There's the safest driver award and all that as well. And of course the teams championship too. So we'll try and give that as much coverage as well. Something perhaps we haven't done. Is picked up when the AM drivers. Who's winning the AM driver category and stuff like that. So I think that's something maybe me and Clyde can touch base on, and we can somehow figure out a way to determine who is AM in the overlay. So maybe we'll try and get that added for next week. Actually, thinking about
that'll
it.
be good.
I don't know why it didn't click before, because we do it with another series, so there's no reason why we can't do it here. We just need to know who is.
Done it.
Yeah, we just need to know who is an AM, so we can do that easy enough.
Checker flag is out in qualifying, and it's been a great qualifying for Tony Kloosterman, Alex. And I know there's probably a couple of drivers still out there, but it's looking very likely that he's going to be on pole position. 1:25.1, and he's spanked everyone really, quarter of a second. Yeah,
he's a great lap. I saw him on a couple of laps. He was just tucked up in traffic, so. It's very hard for us to follow qualifying. We never really know who's on a good lap and who's not. There's nothing in the overlay or from the iRacing SDK to determine who's looking like they're going to pick up a good lap here or gain some positions. So, but Tony with a great one. I'll let you take the grid.
Well, yeah, we hope to. We do have things in the pipeline, so we do hope to be able to shed some light on some of those things in the season, Alex, don't we? At some point, maybe even this season. Who knows? Just one noise. That's all we need.
Maybe
that's all we need. We don't know. Tony Klusterman on Paul. I tell you, you normally it's normally hard to get you to stop talking. It's just like me, but this time nothing.
Yeah, I know. We're not ready yet.
Not even a peep. Not even a peep.
We're not ready yet.
I know we're not. trying to entice the viewers. It's not working, is it? Klusterman on pole. Rafael Kaczarczyk in second. Jake Blackhall third. Victor Tanaka in fourth. Johnny Brandon fifth. Domin Gantar in sixth. Michael O'Docker in seventh. George McClay eighth. Chris Jackson ninth. Stephen Lattimore 10th. And then John Manley is 11th. Kim Holter 12th. 13th is Nikolai Bogachev. And then Dave Janssen is 14th. And Jean-Philippe Bousselin is 15th. With Brenton O'Brien 16th. 17th, Anthony Woodward. Katie Taranto 18th. With Jose Borges in 19th place. Michael Bloom in 20th is Peter Bingham. Then Steve Lavalley in 22nd. Stefan Nobis in 23rd. Andres Perez 24th. And Richard Dempsey 25th. Samuel Bouzon 26th. Adam McNally 27th. Clyde Whiting 28th. 29th. Stephen Phillips 30th. Ronald Moons. Johan Venter in 31st. And it's Igor Bembic, Matthew Belton, Kevin Whitaker, Alec Kowalski, Bill Switzer, Michael Frost, Roland Van Uitrecht, and then 4 cars didn't set a time. Daniel Hunt, Ben Galite, Klaus Winter, and Robert Lundgren. Just about ready for the start. It's always fun. Look how far back that grid is, Alex. Most of them are in the last sector.
Yeah, it's right round the back there. It's crazy. Here we go
then. First time this season in the PenPower European V8 Supercar Series. Who's going to write their chapter? It starts now as the green light is on. It's a good start by Klusterman. Kaczarczyk trying to settle in just behind Blackhall. He's there as well in the ERT car. Then in fourth is Tanaka. And then it's Brandon and Gantar side by side as Blackhall's attacking Kaczarczyk into the hairpin. Is the full course, Alex, here, which we didn't use for the some of the other series that we did. Oh, off! Off goes Johnny Brandon. He's going to lose a couple of spots.
Yeah, just got poor run there, didn't he? He's, like you said, a couple of places. Fortunately, his teammates around him, so I'm sure it'll give him a little bit of room to get back in line.
Blackhall, he tried the move, he tried the dummy, and he's lost out to Victor Tanaka. The American is through.
Yeah, Victor, savvy. Blackhall was so fast, wasn't he, during the media day? But yeah, the guys are on it this week. Just goes to show he's going to have a competition out there. He thought, you know, I hope he didn't come into this one thinking, you know, I've got a good chance. Well, he has got a good chance, but
yeah,
not going to run away with it, kind of thing. You know?
I hope he doesn't think he's got a chance. But no, he was trying to make a move, wasn't he, up the inside? And he just got caught out. He didn't realise Tanaka was there. He was so late on the brakes, was Victor, and just managed to pick his pocket. So up into the podium places goes. Oh, and he hits Kaczarczyk. And that bottles everybody up. You can see the concertina effect and everybody trying for room. Also in there is car 18, Dom and Gantar side by side with Chris Jackson in the Simability car, the Never Quit Racing.
Jackson, oh my
dear me, Gantar.
Sorry, it was Gantar, wasn't it? Sorry. Yeah.
He was nearly Gontar.
Just wide, wasn't he, around the outside, tried to hold on to it, didn't get out of the gas, and yeah, it's a bit bumpy around there.
Oh yeah, that's one thing, elevation changes here make this course very, very difficult. It doesn't look hard on paper, really.
It's a great circuit for that, and actually even better because there's not minimal runoff area as well, you know. It's one of those old classic circuits where it's grass after the curb, not 2 miles of tarmac.
Reminds me a bit of Alton Park.
Yeah, very much.
You know how this goes. It's a bit of Alton, bit of Donington, bit of Brands Hatch. It's a very English track, really, in terms of how it is laid out. And especially this final sector, it really does remind me of Alton.
Richard Dempsey retire into the pits. Sorry, Andrew, just spotted that one, so problems are complete.
Let's keep an eye on that in the first lap. George McClay looks like he's had an issue as well. He's down from 8th on the grid to what is 39th now. He was very quick last week, was McClay. So you see, I think he may have even picked up a win in one of the short races that we covered. Tony Klusterman has checked out 2.7 seconds We know that the Canadian is after the title this year after being sidelined for the last few weeks with injury, Alex, but this is a real statement in the first few laps.
Yeah, absolutely great first lap. 2.9 seconds clear now, so yeah, just flying. Rafael really is the stopper at the moment. Everybody else checked up behind him. They're lined up as well, so huge pack. This pack goes all the way down to about 17th place, probably. Brian?
Tanaka was on the grass. Did you see him?
Sorry, I missed it.
He was on the grass down the straight. He was trying so hard to get past Kaczmarzyk, and now he does it. Throws it up the inside at the top of the hill. Now Blackall's going to have the line around the outside. Kaczmarzyk tries to fight it. Blackall has the momentum. He goes through. Australian is through. And Kaczmarzyk gets nearly quarter panelled by Jackson. And Jackson goes into Evdoka. And that's the danger around the track like that, is the space that you have is minimal. And we mentioned it in qualifying. We thought we might see a couple of accidents in qualifying. Kaczmarzyk dropping like a stone, Alex. He's down behind. That's Johnny Brandon, car 5.
Yeah, he's down 8th place now. Just couldn't get back in line, could he? That was the thing. It was just got freight train to the back. So
you don't think you can get freight trained on a road course, can you? But you can. We've just seen it. Jackson side by side with Gantar. Jackson nearly loses the rear. Oh, and he's fighting so hard to get that car under control. That Holden Commodore. Mostly Holden's at the front. And Docker has a dive. Kaczmarzyk's in the wall. Oh, contact between Gantar and Jackson. Jackson's off. So Kaczmarzyk, it looks like he's out of the race, Alex.
Yeah, that's retirement, I think.
And it looks like Jackson might be out of the race as well. Although he's not, he's still going, but very slow.
I'm going to go back after this one as well and look at Tanaka's overtake once I've done this replay. Let's just see this one. Overtake. And then we will head back there and get that as well.
All got a bit feisty between Gantar and Jackson.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Just looking at the Rafael's there one as well.
Timor is trying to make a move as well.
Let's see this overtake for second place then, as Victor Tanaka. Just got such a better run, didn't he, round the outside, and has to swing it round. Just carries that extra momentum around the outside. Of course, he has the high ground then, and that's what let Blackall, Blackall had to go around the outside as well, didn't he? So, yeah, what a great move. Both drivers.
And then, I mean, you can probably follow that then, can you? Did you see the crashes?
They're like a minute away from after that, so sorry, we're back to life.
But they were, oh, Jackson again. Nearly losing it one more time. He's down, it's really down the order at the moment, Jackson, and he turns in on, and he hits Borges, I think.
Yep.
Borges is, I don't know what was going on there. It seems like a couple of the drivers, Alex, maybe getting a little bit of the red mist after losing a place or two. Just really trying this. Oh, what happened to Kaczmarzyk, and maybe that's why that caused those small accidents, because they were trying to get back in line so quickly. They didn't want to lose 6 places like Rafael did. Oh, and Brandon nearly loses it. And Gantar right in the thick of it. He don't normally see him making contact with anybody, Gantar, but this time we've seen him spear Jackson off, unintentionally, I'm sure, but and then very close to Brandon and him. Docker and Brandon, they seem to come as a package, these two, don't they?
Always, yeah. They're always in and around each other, aren't they? I'm just trying to find them on track, sorry. There's, Gantar just separating them at the moment. But, Brandon, of course, had a couple of little moments. So, should be able to close back up.
Well, we've seen them in the other series that we do. We've seen them in the World GTs, we've seen them in the BSR. And they generally are very quick, usually in the top 10 all the time. John Manley's had a good start, up to 7th place. Dave Janssen up to 8th as well. 4 and 6 positions gained, respectively, for them.
Yeah, good start from them. Just want to have a quick look further back. Michael Blum is under a bit of pressure from Jose right now.
Yep.
And,
is he going to go for it, Borges? Yes. Inside. Close, he gave me enough room there. That's good.
Only just. And then a bit further back, we've got Peter Bingham and Stefan Nugas. having a good little battle as well. They were just a couple of tenths of a second apart, and to be fair, they're just a big pack, really. Behind Clyde Whiting, really. So.
Whitaker's in there at the back of that one as well. Just behind Whitaker is Taranto. 2 seconds actually back, and then Buzan is in 28th. Looking at the biggest winners so far, you can see Stephen Phillips is up to 20th. Stephen Phillips from 29th on the grid, and then also 8 positions gained for Kevin Whitaker and 8 gained for Michael Frost. 42. I think only 39 started.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Actually, look at the people that are still there.
I say only 30.
It's great. It's great, really. Especially around here.
Tanaka, always exciting to watch. Victor Tanaka, the American driver, and front of his car was moving around somewhat coming off the corner, off of turn 1. You can tell he's pushing hard, Alex, to try and keep Blackhall behind him.
Yeah, Jake, no slouch as we know from last week. So it's going to be piling on that pressure the remainder of the race. Still 13 laps to go, mind you. Oh, late move for Blackhall. Just had a little look.
Oh, he's out of control. Oh,
just about got the car stopped. That could have been a bit of a disaster there, but I think you need to keep doing that sort of stuff. You know, maybe just sort of surprise Tanaka, or just force him into a little mistake somewhere. Just keep piling that pressure on. There's nothing worse when someone's hounding you, you know. It's just so easy to make a mistake.
He nearly won the imaginary $20 for best drift.
Yeah.
Then did Blackhall. But he's in third. The gap is 4.2. It was 4.2 at the start of the lap. We'll see what it is this time round. Klosterman comes across the line just about now, and he does a 26.419. Tanaka 27.2, so it's gone up to 5 seconds now.
Just flying, really.
And Blackhall looks good here. Alex is really nailed turn 1. Can he get an opening?
Defending. Jake's going to have to go around the outside. We know he's not afraid to do that. Tries it at the hairpin. So many lines you can take through there. You'll get a much better drive off the corner, though.
Oh, good run.
Here it comes.
Good run for Blackhall. He struggled to carry any mid-corner speed, really, but gets a slight jump on Tanaka here, and he's a few centimetres alongside. Now he's a full car length, and now he's late on the brakes. Can he get it stopped for the corner at the bottom of the hill? Tanaka's going to fight back on the outside. This is good driving. He fights back again. Oh, there's a bit of contact, maybe.
Just a tiny little bit of rub in there, wasn't it? That was great. So I think this is over with. Yeah, I think Jake really needs to nail the next few corners, otherwise Victor might try and put his nose up the inside again.
Cracking driving by both. Blackhall looks like he's on good form. I wonder if Klosterman's going to just start to look over his shoulder a tiny bit, because I know he's the quickest in qualifying, but we know how fast Blackhall can be in the race. I don't think he's going to, I don't know, 12 laps, I can't see him getting there, but
5.7 seems like a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. Another 7 tenths lost then, as you mentioned, just by the battling that they were doing. 27.4 for Blackhall, 27.0 Klosterman. And that was actually a fair bit slower than they went the previous lap. The previous lap was a 26.4. So I wonder if we're seeing the effect of the tyre wear coming into play. I mean, there might be a fair bit of tyre wear here, Alex. A lot of medium speed, a lot of slowish and medium speed corners where it's going to load up the tyres, and it's going to cost the rear tyres quite a lot as well.
Yeah, I imagine it will do, actually.
Especially out of the hairpin and things like that.
Yeah, it's just going to eat away, isn't it? So yeah. I'm not so familiar with the car, but just know that it's always a beast. So, you know, it tends to...
Have you driven it at all, though?
Yeah, I have done. So, but just...
you drove the old one a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah. So, it's just not my cup of tea, you know? So.
It's a hard car to drive, mate.
Oh, it is very hard.
I feel... I gave up on this one, I must admit. I used to drive the old one a bit, and...
I'll be honest.
Look at the battle for fourth going on.
Yeah, great battle. I'll be honest, this is harder to drive than the McLaren F1.
I'll agree with you on that.
By a long way.
I'm rubbish in the McLaren. So, Mdoka leads Gantar, and then Brandon, 4th, 5th and 6th. These three are pretty much glued together, 3 Holden Commodores. Where's the highest placed Ford actually in out on the circuit? It's Kim Holt. No, it's Bogatyrev, Nikolai Bogatyrev in P10.
Yeah, come on, Ford.
And then
figure out.
Boosterland's now gone to the Holden. In fact, is there any more Fords out there at all? You know what? I'm gonna go quite a fair way back to Andres Perez. He's in one, and then you've got McNally is in one as well. And in fact, McNally side by side. It's a right battle going on here with Clyde Whiting, one of the league admins. McNally with no bonnet on that Youth Energy car.
Still getting lots of air to the car.
That's
oh no!
Oh, off goes McNally. That's
caught the grass on the braking.
I think get some gravel in there now.
Tanaka
reversing back onto the course. He needs to get that round quickly. He's done well.
We're not showing it. He's okay. But yeah, Tanaka
well
obviously top AM driver. I want to point that out. Like I say, I have managed to flip through and see that.
How on earth is he an AM driver?
Yeah. So.
No, seriously, how? Is that done on placing, is it? Because there's no way he's an AM driver in anybody's world. It's Tanaka, no chance. He's American, I think, but that's about it. Maybe that's what the AM's for. Docker and Gantar and Brandon are knocking 7 bells out of each other at the minute. It's great to watch. Oh, if Docker nearly lost it, coming out of the last corner. Brandon's going through. Brandon's going through on Gantar.
Yeah, Dawn dropped off the back, didn't he, of Docker? So Johnny taking the opportunity to go for it.
Tell you what, Alex, the newer drivers in the series, you know, they've really come to play tonight.
Oh, exactly.
Oh, what a drift by.
That looked good. Both of them. Yeah, synchronised drifting. Show off.
John Manley went wide at the last corner. I didn't realise we were at a D1 Grand Prix meeting. Didn't realise that at all. But yeah, Gantar's got quite severe damage on the front corner now. That must have been from the contact with Jackson. I must admit I hadn't noticed it.
Sorry, Andrew, Whiting under pressure here down 21st place.
Yeah.
From Nobis.
See then. Cat 25, Stefan Nobis. Oh, late on the brakes for Whiting. He did pretty well in last week's meeting, did Clyde, didn't he? I think, or was it Dave? They've got similar cars, haven't they, these two?
Yeah, Clyde did okay too.
I think so.
But Dave always does well, to be fair.
Oh, he's wide, he's Whiting. Nobis up the inside. And Nobis goes through, so...
Not much you can do there when you run just a bit wide. It's just too hard to try and defend it then.
And the Diaz driver makes it through. We've got some good... we've got most of the iRacing clubs represented here. We've got Benelux, we've got UK and Ireland, Canada, Central Eastern Europe, DH, Australia, New Zealand, Iberia, Texas, Scandinavia, New England, Mid-South, International. That's a very good mixture.
That's what we want, you know. Even though it's Euro, we've got people from all over the place, which is great.
Car 69 is Ronald Moons, and he's made some good improvements over the last few weeks, and he's right there with Clyde Whiting now, and Peter Bingham's just behind him. So it's good to see Ronald mixing it in there. He wouldn't have done that, I think, about a year ago. I don't think he'd have been. I don't think he would have been up there with these guys, Alex, to be honest. But doing a great job now to get himself on the pace and running with these Phantom 71 cars.
Yeah, making strides. It's just the way. Again, we talked about this on the media day, didn't we? You know, the drivers, just a couple of seasons in the car, you know, makes a big difference. And yeah, Moon's moving forward.
It's worth looking at McClay here, Alex, as well. We know how fast he is. We've got a few cars to try and overtake. Let's see if he can do it. He's all over the place. Coming out of there, crest, the insurance bridges. I need the insurance claim in a minute. He's going to go up the inside. Oh, he's having a look on Bingham. Bingham's no idiot though. He knows that he leaves the space and runs around the outside. He might get a move done on Royal Moons, actually. Here. Unintentional setup for an overtake, maybe from Pete Bingham. Up the inside, flies up, he flies through. Oh, he cuts across him, excellent driving. That's what you've got to do, Alex, when you make that sort of overtake, because Moon's going to fight back his way into the hairpin. And going through, oh, that's going to be a bit daft if McClay tries that. I wouldn't have made that 3 wide there. Definitely not, but he survives it to live another day.
Yeah, good from Bingham though. You know, to sort of plant the car on the apex where he didn't give the opportunity for, you know, sort of the cutback there. So
properly committed to that overtake though, man. That's what you've got to do, isn't it? He put the whole car through, and now also going through is McClay. McClay through on Ronald Moons. Good driving by McClay. Hit on the brakes. He got that one done. It's a good passing place that at the bottom of the hill. Definitely. But yeah, Alex, he got the full car ahead of his rival by the apex, and so he just didn't allow. He didn't allow the car on the outside to still be overlapping.
Yep. Coming
out of the corner, which I think is a common mistake that a lot of drivers make, is I think they're too gentlemanly on when they're making a move on the inside. You need to, if you can get if you can get the car in front, and if you can get your nose in front, you need to try and get the entire car through, even if you're a little out of control. As long as you don't make contact, you're pretty good. McClay, he's going to try the same thing. Let's see what he does. And look, there you go. He puts the whole car all the way through. Yes, he gets a poor exit. Now he's got the track position on Peter Bingham. He should be able to defend this into the hair. Bingham's going to have a look. Oh.
Just going to watch that back on replay. Just had a little look, see what was going on for the battle for fourth. Still much as they were.
Katie Taranto's trying to go through as well.
On the replay. Good overtake for Play.
But again, he did exactly that. What we said. Katie Taranto now on the back of Moons again. Pretty close going into the. I guess we can call it the infield, Alex, because it's got that sort of feel to it, you know.
Oh. Got a little loose there. The car seems to be sitting very, very low as well.
Maybe it's just the Moons' car.
No, Katie's. Maybe it's just
the Ford. Maybe
just the yeah. Well, that might be why actually. Could be a little bit lower.
Yeah, could be the Ford. Oh, she might have it very low on that. 6 laps to go then. It's been plain sailing for Tony Kloosterman so far. He made a good start.
I suppose we better bring him up on screen for a little bit.
17 is just being lapped. Ronald van Uytrecht. I'll tell you what we could do, Alex, is when he comes round to start the next lap, you can take us through a lap with him.
I'm sure I can do that.
On-board lap. And what it's going to show viewers at home, if you've not seen the V8 Supercars before on Apex Racing TV, it'll show just how difficult this car is to drive. Right, Mr. Simpson, take it away, Mr. Pro Series man.
Here we go then, exit the final corner, open it up to get a better run. Just sweep left, careful on that bump on the left, that curb, it can be a little bit treacherous as you come off that, getting on the power hard. Into turn 1 then, we're going to sweep down through the gears, and we want to get as close to the yellow curb as possible. I think these V8s would be okay if you touch them, some of the single-seaters not so much. Heading into the turn 1, you have to brake really, really early here. You just think, you know, in any car, it just feels way too early. Just hug the inside, or you can triangle the corner off, whichever way you want to do it to get the best possible exit. But really is all about the exit, getting the power on there. So important. This leads you to what is the longest straightaway section of the circuit, and also with probably the only real overtaking opportunity into the
even
infield.
That's not very straight.
Yeah, into the infield section, swing to the right. Don't go too deep because you need to cut back for this top hill left-hander, and then all the way to the left again before swinging back to the right. You're just constantly turning through this section. We've got a blind crest here. Just learn to know where the line is through there as we sweep in towards the right-hander. Again, car crest that gets a little light as you get on the power going over the crest there as well. Be pushed far over to the right before swinging into the left again. So easy to run out wide here. and we are into the final corner again. I say just out wide a little bit. That straightens the corner up for the final sort of kink left, and yeah, away. And
Good lap, it looked like.
That's a good lap, yeah. And I mean, for somebody, I have to say, who's probably cruising out there, because he's quite comfortable, you know, he's in that rhythm, he's so far out in front. Yeah, you can tell he's still a handful.
He still has to work hard, yeah, exactly. One thing that, of course, like I say, I used to drive the obvious Supercar a little bit, and through that infield section, I can't remember whether I ever drove it here, but definitely through the infield section at the bottom of the hill, you've got to just keep that little bit of throttle on, but you can never really hit it hard like you can with the Kia or with, you know, even the single seaters around there, because simply just the rear will just get away from you. You've got to have that 10%, 20% throttle on, haven't you, pretty much at all times, dude? Yeah.
Even the single seaters can get a little light through there, to be fair. So yeah,
especially this
drive's not so bad.
Especially this crest that he's coming up to now, which we, well, not that one, but this one.
This one here, yeah, this one's quite bad.
The worst one.
You want to get on the power hard, but yeah, that just drops away from you, so the car just gives instantaneously light.
It's another one of those corners that you always feel like you can go through faster, and then you try to go through there faster and you go off on the left hand side, or you get, like you say, you get too much wheel spin coming over the crest. But yeah, it's Postman showing how it's done there. It looks like Blackhall now has got the measure of Tanaka. He got it up to 1 second. In fact, Tanaka looks like he's got a little bit closer at the start.
Yeah, it's 0.7 now, so still not a great deal in it.
Some lapping going on.
The last lap was a 27.3 for Jake and a 27.1 for Tanaka. So
9/10 per second, okay. If Docker Gantar Brandon battle is still going on, it's a little bit more open than it was, but Gantar's still right with Evdoka. And we say it all the time, and the viewers at home are going to be pretty fed up of us saying it with Dom and Gantar, but he does tend to get stronger as the race goes on. Well, even with the damage, it looks like he's doing okay.
Yeah, that's what's happened here, hasn't it? Like I say, he's got a big chunk of the car missing there. The front left wing there. But yeah, he's got back pass, which we didn't see Johnny Brandon somewhere. So, like you say, he comes on stronger. He's learning to deal with the car, with the issues that it might have. I dare say he's probably got a tiny little bit of tracking or suspension issue there, so he's probably not steering straight in there. Be surprised. But
might go on and see if I can have a little look at that.
Seems to be getting to grips with it.
The problem is there aren't many straights on this circuit, so it's quite hard to tell.
Yeah, it might just be a little bit, but it's enough. Yeah, it looks pretty straight to me. I have to say.
Yeah, it looks fine. So but it will be affecting the aero a little bit.
Yeah. And as much as you wouldn't think it, they do have aero on these cars as well.
A decent amount of downforce, I guess, to be able to go as fast as they do. But it must generate a fair bit of downforce. It's a big car.
It's quite a bit of a difference when you whack up the rear end. You know, you get a big amount of rake hitting the car. I mean,
big amount of drag there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gantar's very adaptable. Seems to learn the car exceptionally well. Like you said, he does change his style compared to the, you know, if he does have a bit of damage or whatever. There's a little damage on the back of Evdoka's car, it looks like, as well. On the rear right hand side, he's getting a good run now. Is Gantar? Evdoka just cover the middle. Gantar's going to have a look up the inside. How late can he be? Oh, not late enough.
Both were very, very late on the brakes there. You even saw Evdoka just, you know, the car just sort of like all squirrely as he tries to get the thing stopped.
You could tell that Gantar was fighting. I was on board with him. You could tell that he was just fighting to get that car slowed down in time, so to not completely wipe out Michael Evdoka. Johnny Brandon's just there waiting, though. He's got the least damaged car out of the three, so...
Oh! Not for long.
If he carried on like that, he might not. Well, that would have been a record commentator's curse, that one, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
That would have been one of the best ever.
Back to half a second for the podium positions as well. There's not an awful lot between them. I think it's over for Tanaka, although a little squirrely there, but still only 4/10 Gets this hairpin right. Maybe he can get an absolutely fantastic exit.
Oh!
It's good on the way in. He closes right up 0.2 of a second. How's the exit? Drops back that 0.2. Oh, gets a little bit out of shape. Not what he wanted. We'll get the slipstream. There's a car in front.
I'm just going to keep an eye on the battle behind. You call this one. I'll have a little look at. I'll keep having a look at the one for 4th, 5th, and 6th on the final lap.
Well, actually, I think that's going to be the more exciting one now because not a great entry for Tanaka.
I don't know. He's nailed the hill. He's going to have a look at the inside. Oh,
there you go. Shows what I know.
Oh, off goes Evdoka. He's off.
Ah, I lost 2 places, so Ganta through.
Oh, just outbraked himself at the bottom of the hill. We saw how hard they were trying to nail the braking. That was too much. But Tony Kloosterman, it's been too much for the rest of the field here in round 1 of the season. He missed part of last season due to injury. But the former champion from 2 seasons ago comes through and takes the win. He's the only winner so far in 2018.
Yeah, great race from him.
Oh, and Tanaka just about gets there. He did get it on the final lap.
Yeah, where did he get? I've got to replay that. I've got to find what's going on.
Sorry if we missed it because Evdoka went off. Evdoka's off again nearly. But it's Gantar who gets 4th. He's loving that.
I think you find this is going to be on the last corner. It is on the last corner as well. Jake just run a little bit wide and Gantar, Tanaka just slides the car underneath and just says, well, thanks, I need a little bit more room though. So, mistake really from Blackall, just letting it run wide. What's going on?
All's fair though, isn't it, in the last corner?
Yeah, you can't afford, you just open the door there to Jake, you know? All the corners to do it, you just keep it tight, you don't let him have any sniff of an opportunity, and he did, and credits to Tanaka, he took it.
Still some drivers coming through.
Being in the white
Katie Toronto didn't have a very good last few laps either.
Dropped off that battle a bit, didn't she?
Belton and 262. That's Alec Kowalski who's a lap down actually. You should see him so far down. Oh, what a good race that was though, mate.
Fantastic race.
Good one to start the season with. Let's have a look at the order. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that's what we want for the first race of the season. You know?
Yeah.
It's the start of things to come, hopefully.
Yeah, it was really good performances all round, wasn't it? Kloosterman, obviously the star of the show, but Blackall, Tanaka, and the guys in 4th, 5th, and 6th, absolutely outstanding. Let's take you through the finishing order then for round 1 of the 2018 PenPower European V8 Supercar Championship. Tony Kloosterman with the win. Former champion, of course, by 8 seconds. We're loving that score sheet. Victor Tanaka in 2nd place. Nicking 2nd from Jake Blackall on the final lap. Brilliant performance all by those two. Great battling all round. Domen Gantar, Johnny Brandon, Michael Evdoka gave us a real show out there. 4th, 5th and 6th for them. Kim Holter, 7th. Made up 5 places, as did Nikolai Bogachev. Boussalan gained 6 as well, Jean-Philippe. And then Stephen Lattimore finished in 10th place. Chris Jackson was 11th. 12th was John Manley and Dave Janssen in 13th. Anthony Woodward was then 14th. And Michael Blum up to 15th. 16th, Steve Lavallee. And then Brenton O'Brien 17th. Jose Borges back in the series 18th. 19th, Stephen Phillips, 10 positions gained for him. George McClay made it back up to 20th in the end after a bad first lap. I'm not exactly sure what happened to McClay. Stefan Nobis in 21st, 22nd, Andres Perez, Clyde White in 23rd, Peter Bingham 24th, Ronald Moons in 25th, 26th, Katie Taranto. The second half of the race didn't go that well for her. Kevin Whitaker in 27th, gained 7 spots, and then Matthew Belton 28th, 29th, Samuel Buzan, and Michael Frost in 30th. The cars 1 lap down. Daniel Hunt, Johan Venter, Ronald van Uitrecht, Adam McNally and Alec Kowalski. And the retirements were Bill Switzer, Rafał Kucharczyk, Igor Bembik, Richard Dempsey. And then we had 3 non-starters, Ben Gillite, Klaus Winter and Robert Lundgren.
Great race.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Some good overtaking.
And of course, we've got the reverse grid to come, mate. So this is where it could all get very, very interesting indeed, as normal.
Indeed. Let me bring that up then, I guess. Where are we?
We're going to see who's going to start on pole position. It's going to be Very, very interesting indeed. Now, are we going from one lap down here, or are we going lead lap? I never remember with this.
Well, I don't think it's going to matter too much because not many falls on this one. It's just a small reverse grid, 11 cars.
11? I've got to scroll up for a change to see where that is. Chris Jackson is the one who's going to be on pole position then from P11, with Stephen Lattimore in second, Jean-Philippe Boussalan third, Nikolai Bagacherev in fourth, and Kim Holter in fifth. So the race is scheduled to get underway in 20 minutes' time at 7:15. So we'll be back in time for that here on Apex Racing TV as the coverage of the PenPower European V8 Supercar Championship continues.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
The outside contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be into stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
On the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back, everybody, to Apex Racing TV and the PenPower European V8 Supercar Championship. Thank you for your patience in that break. We do appreciate you sticking with us for the second round of the evening. And this time we've got a feature race. And Andrew Woodhouse, by the way, with you. And Alex Simpson joins me as well, iRacing Road Pro Series driver. And Alex, if the first race is anything to go by, I think the second one's going to be great because we've got a small reverse grid. So similar drivers will be fighting out at the front. And they provided us with some brilliant action, didn't they?
We had a fantastic first race. Obviously, Tony disappeared a little bit, just putting in a bit of a masterclass. But between Jake and Victor, and then we had Brandon, Evdoka, and Gantar. Well, that was great battles. But actually, there was a lot of battles going on further back, which unfortunately on the sprint race is always difficult for us to cover. We tried to get a little bit in, but I think these feature races, they sort of spread apart a little bit. There's obviously the pit stop in there as well. So we'll have a little bit more time to give everyone a bit of airtime.
Yeah, I think you're right. And, you know, airtime is not what the drivers will be wanting to get on the track, at least. Anyway, we've seen that here on this circuit before. Cars flying through the air. I'm pretty sure that we won't get that this time. How difficult is it going to be for Tony Kloosterman to get back through the order this time and get back to the front?
It's a relatively small grid, actually. So seeing the pace that he had, it's not going to be easy because it is difficult to overtake here. And of course, he's up against people who have finished in the top 10, you know, anyway. So it's not going to be straightforward, but I get the feeling that he will get there at the end. But it's what the likes of Blackhall and Tanaka do, you know, because they were not that far off, and you consider they were battling each other the whole race. So if they can get 5 or 6 places really quickly, and we've seen that Blackhall is quite quick at getting through the traffic in the media day, then you know, he might build up a buffer that's perhaps just not catchable by Kloosterman towards the end of the race. So that's Tony's thing, really. He's very gentlemanly with coming through the traffic, and I think if he can see some of his rivals up front cutting through the traffic a bit quick, then he's going to have to step on it as well.
It's the sort of track where you have to get your elbows out, isn't it, really?
Yep. Oh, yeah, completely.
I don't mean elbow people in the face or anything. I mean, you know, I don't mean that sort of aggressive passing, but something along the lines of, I think we saw a perfect example of it at the end of the previous race, actually, where Victor Tanaka got the place off of Jake Blackhall. There was a gap. He went up the inside. He had the space. Just needed a little bit more space. Give him a little nudge. But that was all it took. He didn't whack him, did he? You know?
No, there was the room there. It was a totally legitimate move.
That's what you need.
There's no arguments on the chat afterwards from Jake, so I think he was happy with that. He realised that he made the little mistake there.
So Chris Jackson on pole, Stephen Lattimore second, Jean-Philippe Boussalan in third, Nikolai Bogachev in fourth, Kim Holter in fifth, Michael Evdoka sixth, Johnny Brandon 7th, Domin Gantar 8th, Jake Blackhall 9th, Victor Tanaka in 10th, and race 1 winner Tony Kloosterman in 11th. I'll try and get through the rest if we can. Manley, Janssen, Woodward, Bloom, Levalle, O'Brien, Borges, Phillips, and McClay. That's the top 20. Nobis, Perez, Whiting, Bingham, Moons, Whitaker, Belton, Buzan, Frost, and Hunt. That's 30. And Johan Venter, Van Utrecht, McNally, Kowalski, Switzer, Bembick, Gelite, Scott, and Warmingham is your 39. Okay. Not an easy start for some of the drivers at the very back of the field. Got 2 or 3 corners to go around before they even take the green flag. So
yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Let's see then what they can do in this 40-lap race. If it's possible that we come in and make a pit stop, we'll see. For the guys at the back. Here we go. Green light is on. We're away. Good start by Lattimore.
Oh, big crash further back.
Pile up. And Docker is involved.
The track is going to be blocked. There's loads of cars just piling in. Everyone's blinded.
Is it going to be a safety car on the opening lap?
Could have been.
Oh, if Docker didn't get off the line, Alex, he did not get away.
There's so many cars that are just absolutely wiped out of this one. Not the start we wanted at all.
Who was it that
goes to show one car just not getting off the line makes all that difference.
So the casualties then, we have got 0-0 Steve Levalle. He looks like he's out. It looks like involved also was Borges. He looks like he's in trouble.
Perez is out. McClay's out. They've retired already back to the pits.
McClay got rear-ended by Perez as he came through. Nothing Perez could do. Docker obviously out. Chris Jackson into the lead. And let's just check. We'll check this as we come through to end lap 1. What an amazing start to this race. What a crazy start to this race. One car stalls on the line. We've seen it before in Formula 1, haven't we, how bad it is. We've seen it in V8 Supercars. Remember the absolute fireball that there was?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
When the car that didn't start, I think it was, I don't know if it was at Queensland or something like that. Or Barbagallo, maybe, something like that, but absolutely crazy. Jackson then leading. Latimore second. Docker finally gets going, but he's a lap down now after his fast repair.
Have to let everyone go as well.
Yeah, so that's 1.5 laps basically by the time that everyone's gone through. Jackson, Latimore, Busaland, Brandon, Bogachev, Blackhole, Klusterman up to 7th already. Gantar 8th, Halter, Woodward. That's your top 10. Looks like we've lost Evdoka, Borges, McClay, Perez, Belton, Venter, Kowalski and Galite. At least they're the ones who had damage. There will be fast repairs, Alex, but the problem that they've got is they have to tow back to the pits. And if they've blown the engine on the start line, that could be anything up to 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's it. And some of them did have to do that. Some of them have tried to limp the car back with the blown engine as well.
Steve Lavallee is out now, as in he's back out on the circuit, sorry. And some of the others, Alex, they're trying. They're just waiting to serve that tow, and then they should be back out. But whether they're going to get anything decent out of it, I don't know, because Jackson is coming into the final sector. And we have had a change, we have got that change of livery now for Never Quit Racing, so we do apologise to them, but we don't know what happened really. It seemed like something in the paint pack didn't work or something like that, I think, in the first race, so looks like it's all up and running now. Nice, very easy livery to spot as well, Alex, that one.
Yeah, it stands out a little bit more, yeah.
Now that we've got it. No Rafał Kucharczyk in this race as well.
I wonder why he didn't turn up for this one.
Don't know, he didn't have a very good start though, did he, to the season, and I wonder if that might have some bearing on whether he turned up to this one. Jackson then, Latimore, Busaland, Brandon, Blackhall, Klusterman, Bogachev, Gantar, Halter and Woodward. It's top 10. Then it's O'Brien, Phillips, Janssen, Bloom, Nobis is off! Just as I say his name, he's off into the graveler.
Oh, and struggling to get the car back on the circuit as well.
Not easy.
How did that happen?
Just lost it, I think. Just lost the rear. Just done the braking, maybe that rear bias that he touched. Did he touch the grass or something?
Yeah, I'm going to see now. Oh no, he got a little nerf from behind, and then he couldn't get the car stopped in time.
I didn't see it.
Just a little nerf from behind. That was
we saw that. We saw that last week. Oh, there's a car very slow in the final sector. It's Janssen. He's got major damage. Dave Janssen.
Stationary now. Yeah.
He's been in the wall. Oh, he's hit. Oh, he's collected another incident. There was an incident between O'Brien and Phillips. Alex, that's where we need to look. O'Brien and Phillips hitting each other slightly, and oh, Janssen comes round and absolutely smashes into O'Brien's car.
They're still battling out there as well. Let's see that back, hopefully. Might need to go a bit further.
And O'Brien goes off as he tries to take Michael Bloom.
Should have that now. Replay.
I don't know if there was contact or whether he just lost the car.
Yeah. Huge damage as well.
Oh, Brandon's crashed with Jake Blackhall.
Oh no, Blackhall trying to recover.
Blackhall, what's he doing? No! Oh. Oh dear. And Stephen Phillips, well, he's already been involved in something just now. Oh, it's getting bad to worse for Stephen Phillips. It's all happening out there.
These reverse grids don't half cause these problems. Oh my
I don't know if you can, you know, with the initial incident, was there actually contact, or did O'Brien just lose the car?
I think he just lost it. Yeah, I think he just lost it. I might be wrong. I don't think I'd really jump far enough back to catch it all out.
Oh, colleague of ours on Apex Racing TV, Brendan O'Brien.
Latimos took Jackson as well in that lap, I think. Let me see if we can find that.
Right. Into the lead goes Latimore by half a second then. And Jean-Philippe Bousselin, he's doing extremely well in third. JPB. 666.
On the outside over the crest. This is a great move, I have to say.
Oh, somebody's off.
A few laps they were side by side for. Jackson didn't want to give it up. Latimore when he gets himself through. Good move.
So, what happened between Blackhall and...
They were just side by side going over the crest. There was, to be fair, there was a massive battle going on, and I think it was just 4 into 1. Just didn't quite work. And that's,
oh, somebody's off. It's Alec Kowalski. He's having all sorts of trouble out there. What's going on? Kowalski, he's already a lap down. And it doesn't seem like it's getting any better. Of the cars that crashed on the lap 1, Borges is back out, so is Belton, Venter's back out as well, as is McLean. Manley is out, and Docker is out, and Golight is out. So Docker must have had something else, I would have thought.
Oh, look at Kevin Whittaker as well. Got no rear end to his car, no rear wing. It's going to affect it. Should be fast in a straight line though, surely. Oh, it's got no traction on the rear.
Not much track. Which is a good thing at times, and then not so much in others. And Igor Bembik's cooling is nice and optimised on the front of his car. 18th place for Igor. He was 36th on the grid. Good start. Even despite the fact he's lost half of the front end of his car, it's still a good start. And in fact, he's lost half of the rear of it as well. Can you see? Rear corner is a mess. And the car in front, Ronald moves. No front quarter panel, no rear spoiler. No bonnet. I mean, that's a good job of trashing one of these V8 supercars, is that, to be honest. They're still going. Build them tough in Australia. And there's a bit of contact, I think, between Bembik and Belton. They're not even on the same lap.
Clusman on the tail.
Oh, Bingham! Oh my goodness, good save. Sorry, Alex, Peter Bingham. Almost.
I missed that, unfortunately. I was watching this because Bousselin under a lot of pressure from Klusterman right now. I feel like there's going to be a move for third place already. Jackson and Latimore, they're going to have to step on it, I think, if they're going to have any chance of doing it. We're only on lap 7 to 4th.
Oh yeah, there could be a move from Klusterman coming now on Bousselin. What's he going to do, JPB? Is he going to go? And Klusterman goes up the inside. Bousselin tries to fight it. He gets. Oh, he runs wide.
They were both very late on the brakes, weren't they?
Yeah. It's a good battle out there. You've got a sense that maybe Bousselin, he could have got out of that a tiny bit earlier and maybe not gone off the track. Because he's lost a second there to Gantar behind.
Yeah, you're right.
He's going to lose the race to Klusterman, that's almost certain, but he could still have a chance of beating Gantar, but it's not going to help him if he loses a second there.
Kim Holt also close to Nikolai.
Yeah, it's a good battle this.
It's not a little battle starting to form up even after that craziness in the first lap, so plan for that.
P6 and P7, Pogacar and Halter. Woodward in 8th place as well, going well. He did well in the reverse grid races in the media day, didn't he?
Oh, he did do well, yeah.
Well, he was up there at least at the most of it.
It's 0.2 of a second at the front. Make that 1/10 of a second. Here he comes. Jackson trying to get the run on Latimore.
Oh, up the inside. Chris Jackson. Very deep into the corner. Bang! Make contact. Jackson's car's damaged on the front corner. He's not giving up though. Neither's Latimore. Oh,
Bosch again.
where's he gone? Oh,
You
he's
just
off
give
on
a
the
little
track.
bit more room there. His teammate's going to be coming up on him any second right now.
He's back on his Jackson. He hasn't really lost a lot of time there, has he?
Would have had a slowdown, but to be honest, he lost so much time it probably served itself.
Didn't lose a lot, really. I wonder if he should let Klosterman go through, or whether he should try and attack him again, because it does seem like he's got the measure of Latimer.
I think I don't see really any reason why he won't. Tony can be patient just for the moment, I'm sure.
It's the first round of the season as well. You don't really want to be doing team mode first round. We'll see what your drivers have got. Here's Gantar then. Have they made the switch? They have made the switch. Oh dear. Of course they have, just when I've said that they're not going to do it.
Yeah, it's always the way.
I do agree with the switch, but yeah, I didn't think it would make it maybe straight away, like you said.
I thought I'd just give him a little time just to see if he can get back on Latimer, but
If he'd have been able to get
he has
through,
got
Tony
pretty
could have
heavy
followed
damage.
him.
Yeah.
Tony could have followed him through, couldn't he, potentially? Yeah, the damage isn't great. Gantar's right behind Boosterland now. Boosterland's still holding a good pace, only 4 seconds off the lead. And these guys are 6 seconds clear of Kim Holter, so these guys have virtually got a top 5 wrapped up even at this early stage if they can keep it going.
Yeah, Holter 2.3 seconds clear of Woodward as well behind.
Bogachev is 8th, and then it's Johnny Brandon in 9th. A bit of damage.
Brandon a bit, yeah, like I say, a bit of damage on the rear.
Oh, Michael Bloom nearly going off the track, pursued by Brenton O'Brien. O'Brien will be a bit annoyed, I think, after the first couple of laps, although it's like the car's repaired itself anyway. As a bonus.
Yeah, it's funny how that can happen, and I think you get that because obviously we've got a lot of sort of people from the Pacific region racing with you know, the Europeans. You get that net code, and visually we can see big damage, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, actually it wasn't that big, and the service sort of corrects it for us.
Yep. That's what's happened to O'Brien. He'll be happy with that. Lap 10 of 40 in the Mid-Ohio Sports Car course in the European PenPower V8 Supercar Championship. Andrew Woodhouse and Alex Simpson here, bringing you the action for Apex Racing TV from the first meeting of the new season. And this is oh, Brian's off. Oh, Brian is off. He's back on. Hey, mate. But it's not going well for Brenton.
Just a self-mistake. I mean, he had screen start problems, didn't he, in the last race? Caused him to drop back, unfortunately.
Braked himself, I think. But
I'm surprised he's not asleep at the wheel, you know.
Second meeting of the new season. First one was a cracker. Reverse grids come on. We've had an absolutely spectacular start. Michael Evdoka didn't get off the line for whatever reason. Samuel Buzan doesn't have a lot of his car left either. I'm just looking at him and
Where is he?
Daniel Hunt.
Oh, there is 17th, 18th place. Oh, they're battling out. God, yeah, you're right. There's not a lot left, is
Dan Hunt, it's a family saloon without the good bits. Dan Hunt's through, by the way. It's the first time we've seen him on the broadcast today.
Yeah, up into 17th.
He's getting acquainted with this league, I think, Dan Hunt. Just having a steady start, really.
Oh, look at this for 7th, 8th and 9th right now. Very close.
Oh!
As Nikolai looking for a move. Woodward.
You know what, that's Wood.
Around the outside.
You know what, I think that's Woodward taking it and completing. Oh, maybe it's not,
No,
is
no,
it?
I don't think
He
it is.
passed him and then he repassed him. Yeah. He was, though. He was behind him, wasn't he, Woodward? But good stuff there. Job by all of them, really. Oh! Johnny Brandon. That crest gets me every time. He gets the drivers every time as well.
That is one of those corners where you just hold your butt cheeks together and hope for the best, and coming over that.
think that's the one. Well, especially if you've got like an OSW or something like that, or a direct drive or something like that. You know, that's when you'll your arms will be clenched, everything else will be. I remember me and Sam we did one of these races at Bathurst when people pitted and the tyres were cold. You know the crest at the mountain straight? After turn 1, there's a crest about halfway along, and they were going over the crest at full throttle, like they would do normally, and then they would fly off to the left.
Oh, jeez.
Every time. So for the first few laps, we were just looking at them, like trying not to crash, going over the crest until the tyres warmed up, and that's kind of the reaction we get here. But you can tell the difference between the likes of Latimer, Klosterman and co. They're just a lot smoother over there. They don't try and force the car over the crest. They just allow it to do its thing. As Tony gets very close to Steve now in the final sector. Do you reckon he might go into the hairpin?
I was looking there whether or not he was getting enough run, and maybe he might think about it into turn 1. It's a bit unorthodox, but yeah, decides better of it. Doesn't quite get the run that he wants.
Here we go.
Maybe dives up the inside late on the brakes. Just be careful not to hit Latimer.
Oh, he has got out of it though. Oh, Latimer comes back on, and there's Jackson.
There's no reason for Jackson to slow down, is there? Straight back through.
And Domin Gantar, Merry Christmas to him, belatedly, because it's got him right back in the fight now.
Yeah, it has. So
teammate.
Four-car battle at the front.
It's 2 teams of 2, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we want to see.
And I have to say, I know he hit him, so that's not the best driving in the world. Very good driving by Klosterman to just get off the power.
Oh, how many people do that? You know, just stay on it. You're like, oh, I've spun you now, sorry.
He could have easily just gone, right, I'm just going to keep full throttle on, and round goes Latimer, that's his race ruined, and then he might crash 2 or 3 people off who were coming through. And in the end, Tony got out of it. Yes, they've lost a place, they've lost a couple of seconds, but a couple of seconds as opposed to losing Latimer 20 seconds with the spin.
Yeah, cooked tyres and all sorts, yeah. They're both still completely in this race.
Yeah, and yeah, they might have slight tyre problem, but should be able to calm that down in the next couple of laps. And it gives Chris Jackson a good opportunity to take a win now if he can. I mean, obviously it's early going. Here comes Klosterman again, take 2.
Same corner.
A bit more room given.
I was about to say, Simon gave a bit more room this time, didn't he?
It's not that to be honest, he didn't have to give room last time. He was hit out of the way, but yeah, he decided to just use the middle of the road that time. And here comes Gantar having a look as well. Klosterman's desperate for this opportunity now. Oh, and Latimer almost hits Jackson. Jackson was quite early on the brakes. And here comes Domin Gantar on the inside. Oh, I think there might have been a bit of contact.
It's getting a bit fierce out there now, isn't it?
It's good.
2 teammates. I hope they're in communication with him as well. I'll brake check him here. Take him.
It's getting really, really good between these 2 teams.
Jackson.
I think you're right. I think that's what
the most damage is the one that's up front, you know.
I think that's what he was trying to do, though, Alex. I think he was trying to brake a tiny bit earlier on the line, so that Tony could have the inside. Didn't quite work. I mean, we've done it before to people. It hasn't worked, but it's just, yeah, it's tough to pull off. Jackson's got a little bit of breathing room now, but I wonder if he's going to do the same thing again. Because he's got traffic to contend with as well. Car 17 is run off on Utrecht. Oh, wide line by Latimer, but gets him a nice exit, really. Allows the power to go on earlier as well. And Gantar all over Klosterman now.
Yeah, Klosterman having to defend. Can't really move forward, can he? That's the problem he's got.
No. Here comes Gantar around the outside. Keep that mid-corner speed. Klosterman savvy though, the veteran Canadian. Knows how to defend the position too.
Yeah, apologies for the people below. Obviously, we cannot take our eyes off of this right now. This is fantastic.
Yeah, why would you? Indeed. Brilliant battle for the top 4. PenPower Euro V8 Supercars here in Apex Racing TV. Round 2 of the season from mid-Ohio. Brilliant battle. Oh, Klusman a bit wide. Got some dirt on his tyres. Doesn't look like he can take the right-hander that well, but yeah, and understeers wide at the exit of it too. Now Chris Jackson's at the front. What's he going to be thinking, do you reckon, Alex? Do you reckon he's going to be... Is it eyes forward for him, or...?
I think it's hard to be eyes forward when you've got 3 very quick drivers bearing down on you. Well, say bearing down, they're there, but right on him. So I think with the damage, I think he's just got to make sure he just focuses on hitting every braking point, get every turn in just right, get that car off the corner as best as it possibly can, and just hope and pray that the guys behind just don't get a better run. You know, this is the thing, and they perhaps slow each other up, fighting and defending each other while they're trying to do, you know, a bit of infighting, which is what's going on, because Tony obviously desperate to get past Lattimore, and Gantar wants to get past as well. So this is different. It's interesting dynamic when it's two teams, two drivers.
This has potential to be one of the best battles that we've seen covering this series, and it's got another 25 laps to run, so we're going to enjoy this for about another half an hour here, at least, if they stay in these current positions. Just a little update on, we're not going to take our eyes off this battle, because like I say, anything can happen at any time, but Jean-Philippe Boussalan being reeled in slightly by Kim Holter, well, I say slightly, 7/10 of a second on the previous lap. I want to see what Boussalan does when he comes around the final corner this time. He did do a 25.9, he's now done a 26.1. Holter a 25.7. That gap is coming down for 5th place, back to the front.
Jackson just defending a little bit the inside there as well. Felt the need. As Lattimore gets a good exit, but not enough. Tony a better one. Gantar's the person who gets the best exit out of there every time. And this is why Tony's having to go a little defensive every time he heads down here. And here we go again. And
this race, Klusman might be forced into a move on Lattimore here.
I can almost see that's going to happen if it carries on like it is.
He's going to have to brake so late to fend off Gantar, isn't he? Oh, Gantar's having a look. Oh. But again, Tony can definitely not really concentrate on Lattimore, can he? Because Gantar's right there. And we know how good Gantar is. As the race goes on, he's going to get stronger, Gantar.
Yeah, that's just this driving style, isn't it? Just one of those drivers who really conserves the fuel.
Conserves the tyres. Well, and the fuel. We've seen them do that as well in the past. Get good fuel mileage. And speaking of fuel mileage, into the pits comes Tony Klusman. He's had enough of this battle. Yeah. He thinks it's slowing him down.
I'm not surprised that he's in, actually. He's one of the drivers who uses those pit stops very wisely.
I was just going to say, Samuel Bouzan's found the rest of his car. The fast-toes worked. He's been reunited with the bonnet and the rear spoiler, and away he goes. It'll be interesting to see the time for Klusman. Have you got a pit? Can you get a pit stop time on that?
Can, yeah, he's away. So 16 seconds stationary.
Stop.
Not a lot come out.
This is the hour race, didn't it? I think so.
Yeah, this is the problem. He's come out and he's behind Alan McNally, but he's right behind McNally as well. So again, he's going to have to overtake now. You know. Yeah.
So and then the problem he's got is he's overtaking slower cars as well. It's not fast. It's not. He's not trying to overtake Lattimore, who's doing low 1 minute 25s. He's trying to overtake McNally, which, with all due respect to him, he's doing. Well, he was in the 25s as well, McNally, before that last lap where he did a 28.6. So he must have had a mistake. So it wasn't the 25s, McNally.
Oh, Lattimore so close to Jackson. It's up to Jackson really to hold these guys up now.
This is unfortunate for Jackson in many ways. And look. And that's Gantar in and Jackson in. So Lattimore's now at the front on his own. Gantar's in, Jackson's in. Who's going to get the better pit stop? It's going to be car 11, car 18. going to be...
Jackson's so far up the pit comparison. You can see there. So there comes Ganter. Jackson is leading the way. Oh, he lost the position.
There goes Ganter, and there's Tony Klosterman, look.
Oh, well, it worked. One lap. So it's all
Great
about
undercut.
what Lattimore's going to do now.
Great undercut there by Tony Klosterman. Under pressure as well. There's a laps car. A car he's just overtaken Nobis. It's up to 10th actually, Stefan Nobis. Good job from him. Has anybody else been in the pits?
A few other drivers have been in, so Dave Jansen's been in, but that might have been earlier on as well. Novelli, Nikolai, Johnny Brandon. That seems to be about it, I think.
Oh, Nobis made a mistake there.
Interesting, it says Tanaka's been in, but that must have been... Yeah, that must have been something else going on there.
Where's Tanaka?
Turner's fourth. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. He's got no bonnet, so
Yeah,
I'm not sure that's quite right.
well, I think he was 7th, and then 3 people have pitted. I think he is 4th. Let's have a look. He's suffering a bit. I tell you what, if he's suffering in the mid 1 minute 24s, he's not suffering that badly. Must have literally been lap 1 for Tanaka. Well, he started 10th. He's only up to 4th, but he's been doing really good lap times. He's been doing 24s consistently. His fastest lap is 23.5. How is he down? How is he there? Is he ahead of... Hang on, wait.
Like I said, the pit stop count is not right. Did he start from the pits or something?
Has he stopped, Tanaka?
No.
He's ahead of Klosterman. If he has stopped... If he has stopped, he's in the lead.
I'm not seeing. He's got, like I say, he's got a damaged car still, so I don't think he has stopped.
I know, but the lap times, mate.
Yeah. Maybe the damage has helped.
The lap times. Let me have a look at...
Oh, Tony getting caught
you know
in
what?
traffic.
Unless he pitted... No, he can't have pitted on... Unless he pitted on lap 1. That wouldn't have... well, actually, he could have pitted on lap 1 for a fast repair, couldn't he? Could be the quick stop. I'm not sure whether he has or not. That's the thing. I can't say it, but... Oh, he's in now. He's in now, is Tanaka, but... Yeah, maybe it's a glitch, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Just glitching timing system.
He's very quick, though. His lap times are excellent. Fastest man on the track by some way to Tanaka. Where's Lattimore, then? Down at the hairpin. Not down at the hairpin, down at the bottom of the hill. So... 40, showing he's 14 ahead of Boosterland. Boosterland's now in the pits. 26 ahead of Klosterman. What do you reckon? Is it looking good for Lattimore at the minute?
I'm really not sure. I mean, it could be, but the pit
He's now
stop
running
time.
slower, you see.
Yeah, the pit stop time. You know, but
He's
had
going to
some
have a short pit stop because he's got less fuel to put in.
Yeah, but he's had short. He's had clear traffic, so for those few laps as well. So who knows? This is going to be quite. This is going to be quite close. Let's see. He needs to be really quick, stationary here.
He's going to put less fuel in by 2 or 3 laps than what the others have done.
16 seconds flat was what Klosterman had done.
Klosterman
is... what's going on? That slowed him up a little bit in the pit lane. Not ideal.
Did nearly run into someone.
Stopped well on his marks. Really hit that.
Klosterman's coming around the final corner.
Another way, 8 point something. Here we go. We can see him. He needs to be put down. Oh, this is going to be close, but I think Tony's got it. Yes, indeed. And Gantar actually passed his teammate too.
Yeah, Gantar by just about a second goes through. Chris Jackson just about 2 seconds behind. Jackson, of course, now has a fully repaired car, though. So in theory, he should be a little quicker than he was in the first stint. And he had the pace on Lattimore, you would think. It was close. Brenton O'Brien's now just behind Jackson.
He's not pitted yet as Brenton, so still doing well.
No, I don't think.
It's going to drop him back, but he could still be looking at a top 10 here, Brenton. Around there.
I think. Yep. If we take 26 seconds as a pit stop, I think he'll probably come out in P10. Boosterland's dropped down the order, but I think that's because Halter pitted it. I think. Yep, Halter's pitted.
Hunt and Woodward are very, very close.
We're just waiting for it to. Wait a minute, what's that? Oh, somebody's had a. Oh, no. I think did Gantar nearly spin off there? Oh, he got really sideways, Alex, going through that double right-hander. Almost lost it, Gantar. Does he lose out to Lattimore? No, he doesn't. Lattimore stays behind, so... Yeah, big hairy moment for Gantar. I don't know if you caught that.
Oh, yeah, there it is on the replay. Massive, massive moment. Not going to do tyres any good at all.
He's usually very good, isn't he? Slow Ruse driver. Yeah, we'll see. Now everybody, of course, on the timing and scoring is coming back into the race because they're getting another 25 seconds added onto the time because of the leader pitting. So let's have a look. Brenton O'Brien, 5.7 seconds off the lead. Yeah, 26 seconds would put him in 10th place ahead of Michael Bloom. We're taking 26 as about an average. So yeah, 10th isn't too bad. He started 17th, and of course he had the crash earlier on. Oh, Gantar's really struggling in this section, Alex. It looks like he's not got the balance. Does not look like he's got great balance. It looks like he's got oversteer on the way into the corner and understeer coming out of the corner.
And back into the pits. Just have a little look further back, see what else is going on now while these guys are settling down.
Good race back then, mate.
Close to Bill Switzer. That's for 16th and 17th place. Bill's got a fair bit of damage on the front of his car. And he hasn't pitted yet, actually. Yeah, he hasn't pitted yet. So.
The back's missing. Who's behind him? Stephen Phillips. Phillips, of course, didn't start the race that well himself either. Oh, big wide moment there for Dave Janssen. He's rocking 20th place. In 19th, actually, not by his pits. Dan Hunt's up to 12th. It's a good solid run for the British driver. It's always good to see a lot of the regulars to the channel coming in on some of the other races, Alex, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see what else is going on.
So we normally get John Roberts in this as well. No John Roberts today, but I don't know if he's doing the rest of the season.
Whiting and Samuel Boost very, very close. Now that Booston's got his new car. Yes. They're just tucked up behind Rick Scott as well. It's just ahead of them. A good little battle here. 22nd, 23rd, 24th.
I say Rick Scott.
Close. Rick's just let them both go. I'm not sure why, but he has.
Is that the same Rick Scott that we know, or is that a different Rick Scott? Spelling the same?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I would think so too. I just wasn't sure. That's all. Let's have a little look. It's after time, viewers. We don't know who's going to turn up to these races. Any of the races that we do really on the channel, we don't know who's going to turn up until the race actually starts sometimes. Boosterland's dropped down to 9th. Still no appearance from Brenton O'Brien in the pit lane, or is there?
No, there's not yet. 24.5 second stop for Boosterland, so he will be on fresh tyres, I'm assuming, because that's a rather long stop compared to everybody else.
Apologies.
But yeah, Lattimore closing back in on his teammate. They've got a bit of traffic ahead of them at the moment as well, so Lattimore seeming to get through the back markers a little quicker. I'm sure those two will time everything right, keep everything above board. Jackson just losing a little bit of time as well, 3 seconds behind these guys now.
Sorry about that. I have no power over the landline, I'm afraid.
No.
The old mobile's on silent, but the landline is kind of...
It's very rare they ring these days, doesn't it?
Well, not at the right time, it seems, as well. Gantar and Latimore then. Just a quarter of a second apart. What do you reckon? You reckon there's going to be something here between these two? Because it looks like Latimore is actually quicker now, bizarrely, but is it still more efficient to let Gantar chase Klosterman? 24.5 for Gantar, 24.2 for Klosterman. So it's not working out for this team. For SLO, it's not working out for them. So they need to, I think they almost need to swap it round. Give Latimore a go. And if you can drag Gantar along with him with the slipstream at the tune of 3 to 4 tenths of a second, then maybe they've still got half a shot at Klosterman. The more laps that go by, I think with Gantar running this pace, then the more it plays into the hands of Never Quit Racing. So Klosterman does as it comes through.
I just think you're absolutely bang on, man, you know.
24.2 for Klosterman, 24.1 for Gantar. He's picked it up.
That's really good. 2.6 seconds the gap.
It could well be that his tyres were just shot for a couple of laps, you know. And it doesn't take a lot to be half a second slower, does it, around the track like this? It only takes you to lose a fraction of the grip available to you, and that's your half a second gone.
Tanaka has pitted now and is in 8th place. So, and I tell you, he is the fastest man on the circuit.
Yeah.
Last lap, 123.7. So, had he not had his issues, I think he might have had a very different race.
2 laps before, he just set the fastest lap of the race as well, 123.2. 123.2. To put that in perspective, Tony Klosterman's best lap coming out of the pits was a 23.7. It's half a second quicker than the car that's leading the race. But as often happens with Tanaka, Alex, it's just that consistency, isn't it? Sometimes with him, where he didn't seem to put the qualifying and the full race together. Because he's a very fast driver. He's arguably the best driver, arguably, but the fastest.
Yeah.
Over 1 lap. Klosterman absolutely smashed everyone in qualifying, and Tanaka just couldn't really live with it. Now in the race, he's pumping in good lap after good lap. Yeah, Dan Hunt still holds 12th after coming into the pits, so
Brenton's in.
Really good
Very
job.
late stop for Brenton. See where he drops out. Like I say, I was hoping to see him in top 10.
I bet it's going to be a quick stop this though. He's not got a lot of fuel to put in that English racing team car.
12.6 seconds. Depends if I can bring the graphic up. There we go.
So Nikolai Bogachev has just come through, so I was right with 10th then. I was right with 10th place prediction. And now obviously fresh tyres. So yeah, let's go. Let's see what we can do. Oh, it's a crash.
Ahead. Who was that?
Van Utrecht has gone in. Oh, he's hit Bogachev as he's lapping him. Oh no, Bogachev has hit him. He's come through, he's lost control. Ronald's minding his own business on the outside. Nikolai loses control, smashes into the car of Van Utrecht, and well, that's a shame. He's having a good race with Bogachev, and he's made a mess of it. He hasn't lost a great deal of time, but he does now have. Well, it doesn't look actually. He does have damage to the rear left now, so that'll definitely encourage Brenton O'Brien, Alex, if he knows about the damage.
Yeah, I think so. Get after him.
Should have a quick car now, O'Brien.
4.3 seconds is the gap, so it's fairly sizable. There's 11 laps to go.
Still Switzer there. A bit of a fright when O'Brien appears. Good looking car, that blue Logitech G Evolution Racing Team car.
Yeah, it does look nice, really pops. So I mentioned last week with Jake doing them. Jake obviously out of this one. Went to bed early.
Yeah.
Why not?
He didn't last very long, did he? He only lasted 3 laps, I think it was. No, 5 laps he lasted, back on. Yeah.
Johnny Brandon close to Kim Holter as well. This is starting to form up last few laps. Brandon's been quite a bit quicker now that he's got his car repaired after the pit stop.
Just on them.
Tanaka's coming at them as well, another 2 or 3 tenths quicker.
Yeah, it's still going to be tough for him to get past Johnny Brandon. Just on Blackhall as well, if you do have an incident like that, because it's going to be, is it fairly stupid o'clock for the Australians at the moment?
Yeah, very much so.
Kind of 6 a.m. or something, is it? 5, 6 a.m. something like that.
Well, they're about 12-hour difference, and they 10-hour difference, 10-hour.
Depending on where you are, I think it's 10 hours to 8 hours. I think,
they have got 3 time zones, haven't they?
So before, what time are we on? So we're on 8 o'clock. So yeah, it'll be 4 o'clock in some place and 6 o'clock at a push. I think if it's the I'm going to embarrass myself now. If it's the East Coast, it'll be 6 o'clock a.m. So I think when you have a little incident like the one Blackhawk had at that time in the morning, I think you're more likely to just go, yeah, well, I tried. Go up to bed. We all know that we've done that before as well. Off goes Clint Whiting. A bit of an issue in the middle sector. 1 lap down is Whiting. He has gained 2 places from his starting position. It's not been the best run for him. Jean-Philippe Boussalan seems to have fallen off of the face of the earth a little bit. He's down to 8th. Really know why he's ended up so far down. Into Tanaka's 7th, and he's right with this battle now. 5th, 6th, and 7th. Holter, Brandon, and Tanaka. These guys are 12 seconds behind Chris Jackson, so it's really just a fight amongst themselves. I think Tanaka has got half a chance of getting there, but you'd still have to go some. Jackson's doing 24 5s. In fact, Tanaka's now in the 24 3s. He's trying to go around the outside, and what's that in front? Oh, off goes Holter. Oh, well, that saved those guys from one more overtake.
Side by side then. Here we go.
Tanaka on the outside. What can Johnny Brandon do? How late can he break? The answer is very late. That's good. Oh yeah. It's very good defensive driving. Perfectly done, although he runs a little wide over the top of the hill, which carries a little too much speed in. But he's done well. You can't really pass in this bit, in this part of the track. You might try, Tanaka. He's fairly aggressive out there. Oh! Massive twitch over the crest. Where do you think he's going to make the move? During the bottom of the hill?
Yeah, I think he does look quick. Obviously, with Holter making that mistake the last time at the hairpin, I think coming out of there again. Oh well, right now.
That might be it. I think he's going to make the move now.
Yeah, Brandon just about holds on to that. So, yeah, Tanaka through.
He might get a run into the hairpin here, Brandon. Did actually get a decent exit, bizarrely, from turn 1. Tanaka is through. He's got a bit wide. He's wide.
Yeah, we'll get a good line.
Oh, he got a nudge. He's through. Through properly this time.
Brendan O'Brien and Nicolai, very close. That gap has come down, like I said it might do, down to 0.4 of a second. Of course, there was a little bit of contact earlier on that we saw.
I must admit, I will say to Nicolai, if we are pronouncing your name wrong, tell us, because, and I say that to all the drivers as well, if you've got pronunciation error, don't just let us say it wrong for 10 weeks. Let us, let us know. We don't mind if you correct us. We're not bothered. We want to do it correctly. So yeah, give us a shout.
So ERT do a good job with promoting their sponsor.
I do.
Sat here with a Logitech G keyboard and mouse.
There you go. Probably glowing all sorts of fancy colours.
Well, yeah.
I do need to get me one of those. I must admit. Yeah, I do need one, to be honest. Although I don't commentate in the dark, so I don't see if I need. We'll see.
I do.
Well, I don't. Well, yeah, I know you have. You have to do because there's so many screens. It's the only way you can see everything.
Brandon hasn't dropped back off of Tanaka, but we'll stay with this O'Brien battle.
Yep. Well, Brenton looks quick at the moment. Nikolai, it's a little wide. Oh! O'Brien slides the car. Oh, what's happened?
Someone's skidding ahead.
What's happened? Somebody's gone off the hairpin. Is it Bousselon having a problem?
Round the outside for Brenton. Ah, straight round. Thank you very much. Ah, a bit too much speed. Doesn't get the exit. We're looking so good. Just got on the power a bit too early. Now it's a drag race.
Now, how much space are they willing to give each other here? It'll be interesting. Oh, Bogachev, we know he's got trouble controlling the car on the brakes. We've seen a couple of mistakes, and now O'Brien is through.
Good move.
Yeah, nicely done. Like I say, we saw Nikolai just struggling with... I don't think he's got as much confidence under hard braking as what Brenton's got, based on his earlier accident that he had with Van Outrecht. And yeah, he's done a good job there, O'Brien. The whole car ended up in space again, like I said. Nice and decisive. Latimore's dropped Gantar now. So, 1.1 seconds. Jackson's off the back of this as well. He's lapping fractionally quicker than the two in front. Might not be enough to get there though. Just got 7 laps to go. What a good race it's been though so far. And I tell you what, this series, you know, I look forward to it more and more every time we cover it, I think.
Just getting better and better actually. So I'm happy with that.
Great close competition though, isn't it? All the way through the field at the moment, where it maybe always wasn't like that all the way through the grid, but now there's always someone to battle with for all the drivers out there. These longer races with reverse grids, they really can get everything a bit spicy out there. Tanaka isn't going any quicker than Chris Jackson, so it'll be 5th for him if he can stay ahead of Johnny Brandon. Brandon's only about half a second behind him, he hasn't dropped him completely at all with him.
I thought he was going to drive away, to be honest, but hasn't.
Yeah, I mean, he's driving away, but it's not massively quickly, is it? It's only 8/10. He's been ahead of him for 4 or 5 laps now, so good driving from Brandon. He's a quick driver though. Everything he drives, he seems to be fast in. Kim Holter is still 7th despite the mistake. He'll be a bit annoyed, I reckon, about that error.
Yeah, I think so.
Put Kim behind.
Just let them have it, really. He could have held on to that while they were sort of fighting amongst themselves.
It's one of the worst ones. Well, I mean, you had something similar today, didn't you, where you make a mistake and then
Just
you know you let someone have it, don't you? You don't give them a fight for it, unfortunately. Yeah. But here comes Brenton on the lap traffic. He go Benbick. I must admit, Benbick seems like a changed man since he's come back to the series. Once he nearly goes off on the outside of the straight, that would have been embarrassing for me. But yeah, he's done a good race out there today. 14 positions gained, and he was to put it politely, he was a bit crashed by Wallet before, wasn't he? But
a little bit.
Seems like he's done.
Oh,
hello.
Oh dear.
I was going to say, it seems like he sorted that out, and then it's very nearly happened, doesn't it? It's McClay, and it's round the outside for McClay. That was for position. I think he let him have it, but that was for position.
He's just struggling with tyres all of a sudden, isn't he?
McClay is going well. Low 1 minute 24s for him. It's 23.7 on the previous lap as well.
Whiting and warming him as well. That's starting to close back up. 9/10 of a second there.
It's 20th and 21st. Nobis and McNally were quite close together, but it looks like McNally's dropped off that, so I wonder if it was a mistake there by the Youth Energy driver.
Lattimore did go back past Gantar, but he's not been able to do anything. Tony's just a few tenths of a second on that quicker.
He has dropped him off though. He has dropped Gantar off to 1.6 seconds. Good driving by Lattimore. He's done well in this race, I think, mate. He's soaked up a lot of pressure earlier on, and you know, he's had a bit of bad luck in the past in this championship, hasn't he? And I think it always seems to be, if there's a guy who got taken out on the first lap, it was usually Steve. And you know, touch wood, he has a good finish today, but it seems to be going pretty well for last season's championship. He was third, but with 2 wins, but you kind of felt that it could have been more, didn't you, really? And it could be this time.
Yeah, I think so. Just having a little look at some other little battles as well. Nothing really going on down the grid. Apologies for that.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, I just wanted to obviously give some other people that hadn't had any airtime some airtime and have a look, see who's had what.
Yeah.
There's a few people.
Well, while we're mentioning,
I haven't.
While we're mentioning that, and you can, like I say, go through and show a couple of the drivers.
Some of the liveries. We've got 4 laps to go.
It might sound like a stupid question, but how important is it? Oh goodness me, as Gantar nearly loses it. How important is it for Tony Klosterman to start with 2 out of 2?
Yeah, well, it just sets you off on the right tone, doesn't it, for the rest of the season, you know? You know you can do it at the start, you can push on, you can try and do it again, you have that belief that you can win a race, you know?
And you're not playing catch-up.
Yeah, it makes a big deal. Yeah, good quality start. So important.
Because the more you start pressing when you're behind, the worse it gets. You know this from experience as well. What's that? That's... Oh, I thought it was going to be Klosterman. It was Klosterman. He's just had a crash with Michael Frost.
Let's have a look.
Michael Frost lost the car on the way to the hairpin. Into the side of Klosterman. Very nearly taking out the Canadian. I think he's all right. I think he's just about okay. Unbelievable scene.
Oh, jeez.
Nothing he could do. He just had a bit of grass on the braking.
Tony very lucky there. Let's hope that's not caused any damage. Is he tracking okay?
I think he looks. It looks all right. It looks okay, but it's going to be hard to tell. But that is not what you want when you're leading a race by 6 seconds. Didn't really lose any time. Just lost part of his car. In fact, does he still have all the bits intact? It looks like he still did a 24.8 on that lap. It wasn't the worst lap in the world. What are the guys behind doing? Gantar 24.6. Well, I tell you what, you'll be hoping that there isn't any more damage than what we can see, just a bit of crumpling on the side, because again, 6.5 seconds. It's a good gap, but if something suddenly goes wrong, then that's not really a lot of time to work with. So it's kind of like, you know, like when you get the 2-0 lead in football, isn't it? It's like it's a good lead, but if they get one back, it's a bit twitching. It's a bit like that for Klosterman. 6 seconds is a great lead, but if you have one spin, 6 seconds isn't really enough time to recover.
No, exactly. He's still under the cosh a little bit.
And he was so lucky he didn't get spun around by Michael Frost's car that was out of control.
Car looks good though, I have to say. He doesn't look like he's fighting it or anything like that. He doesn't look twitchy or anything, so...
I think he is all right. Car behind going well. Stephen Phillips putting good lap times in, actually. Staying fairly with Klosterman here. The white flag's going to come out at the end of this lap for him. But I tell you what, if he was just cruising along minding his own business, that would have woken him up, won't it? 100%.
Oh, big time. Always got to.
Just thinking, my Saturday afternoon's going well. What am I going to have for tea?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's what it'd be. How many points in the lead am I going to be?
Drift off like that as well, you know, so that, you know, and you're just assuming that these people can give you the room and not have any issues. You've always got to be on your toes.
I mean, not his fault at all, but But yeah, he might have been just sort of thinking, oh, you know, that's 2 wins in the bag, and then suddenly it could have been, if that had hit him on the front of the car, it could have been a blown engine. 24-2, I think he's fine.
Oh, Nubis going for a move on Woodward. Oh, there's contact.
Off goes Woodward.
They've maintained as they were, 12th and 13th place.
Going to give us some excitement on the last lap. Klusterman won't want any more excitement. He says it's boring enough for me. I'm happy with that. He'll have been perfectly happy with how it was. 6.9 seconds. He was actually half a second quicker than the guys behind as well on the previous lap, so absolutely nothing wrong with the Never Quit Racing car. And coming through the final sector then, after taking race 1, his dominant fashion, I'll tell you what, he's looking, he really wants this championship. Tony Klusterman comes out the final corner and doubles up here at Mid-Ohio. Fantastic job. And look at this on the final corners between Gantar and...
I think
Gantar's got it.
I think they just switched back, didn't they? Because Lattimore could close him in. They give him the opportunity.
That's good team orders there.
Jackson Cross.
Give him the chance. If he can't do it, it's the old Hamilton and Rosberg, isn't it? Sorry, Hamilton and Bottas, isn't it? From is it Hungary? Decided, we'll give you a few laps to have a go. If you can't do it, we'll swap the positions back.
Yeah, in fact, you know, one of the things he did decent this season.
I think it's good sports. That's great sportsmanship, I think. But I know people are having a go at him for it. But you can't just take the piss with your teammate and expect them to, you know, help you back later on. Nobis and Woodward again. Woodward's made a mistake. Nobis is going to go through. Is Woodward going to have anything left in the final sector? He's going to have a look in the last corner. He's braking hard here, but it's going to be Nobis, I think, unless he makes it. Oh, he's very wide. He's understeering, far too much steering lock. Woodward's going to have a go to the line. And out of fuel, I think, is Ronald Moons.
Got in. And that line is so close. Could be. Where is Moons?
Yeah, fuel.
Oh, got in.
Oh, fuel for Ronald Moons. Oh, so he finishes 24th, Ronald Moons, when he would have finished a lot higher than that, I think. Out of gas. Well, Alex, fantastic race.
Two great races.
Really enjoyed that. I've got to shoot off shortly, but I will give the results first of all. Tony Klusterman doubles up with a fantastic performance. Really brilliant for the first race meeting of the season. 2 comfortable wins in the end. Very nearly lost it all with 2 laps to go. Domen Gantar in second place. Stephen Lattimore third. Great team orders and sportsmanship going on in the top 4. Chris Jackson bringing up the top 4. Victor Tanaka in 5th. He was the fastest man for most of the race, but unable to really do a lot with that pace. Johnny Brandon in 6th. Kim Holter 7th. 8th was JP Busalan. Brenton O'Brien in 9th. Bogachev in 10th. Bloom in 11th. Nobis 12th. 13th Woodward. 14th McNally. And then the cars 1 lap down were Steve Phillips, Peter Bingham, Steve Lavallee, Samuel Buzan, Richard Warmingham, George McClay, Clyde Whiting, Igor Bembik, and Bill Switzer. That was 23rd place for Switzer. And then the rest of them, Ronald Moons, 24th, Rick Scott, 25th, Alec Kowalski, 26th. Then Johan Venter, 27th, Ronald Van Aert in 28th. Michael Frost retired after hitting Tony Klusterman, 29th place for him. And then the retirements. We lost Dan Hunt with 10 laps to go. I don't know what happened to him. He was running well inside the top 12. Dave Janssen, Matthew Belton, Kevin Whitaker, Jose Borges, Jake Blackall, Andres Perez, John Manley, Ben Gillite, and Michael Evdocker. Alex, he didn't get off the line.
No, that crash at the start, crazy, wasn't it? Really caused a lot of issues. A lot of drivers retired, really, straight away. So, yeah, shame.
Well, there's a lot of drivers waiting in the interview room. I'm going to bid you good night, mate. But as usual, absolute pleasure and good fun race tonight.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Always a pleasure. Right, I'll jump up there.
Thanks
and
everybody for watching.
Yeah, we'll get these done.
All right.
Right, welcome to the interview section of the broadcast. Mr. Woodhouse has left us, so we'll try and rattle through these a little bit quickly. Tony, we'll start with you. We have to, really. Double race win for the start of the championship. Looked pretty nice out there. First race, a lot of battling going on behind. Let you scamper away at the start, and then you just stretched it out. And then, the second race, that was a real fun race to watch. That four-way battle, two teams battling it out. Really didn't know what was going to happen there. Just talk us through the first race very quickly, but then just, tell us about that little battle, the decision to pit as well.
Yeah, the first race was very slippery. Good thing I'm used to the ice in Canada because that's exactly what it was like. But, with no traffic, it wasn't too much of a problem. The second race, I have to give apologies to Jake Blackall. We got together there at the Corkscrew. There was a lot of stuff happening. I saw an opportunity and, in retrospect, looking at the replay, I should have probably backed off a little bit. And then later on, we had just an awesome battle with the four of us. And I got on the back of Steven a couple of times and made sure that he could get himself straightened out so that we could keep on battling. But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, fantastic. And in the end, it was the pit stop really that got you out in front of all of them with about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds gap. And you're just able to build from there.
Yeah, that was strategical. I knew I wasn't going to get past them, so I gambled on early stop and try and put in some laps before they did.
Awesome stuff. Well, congratulations again. Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Well, PenPower for sponsoring the league, of course, and our league admin, and obviously Simability and our Never Quit Racing team. Thank you.
Thanks very much, mate. Right, we'll jump on to Gantar. Where are you, mate? There you are. See you in the booth. I got to ask the question, was that a bit of sportsmanship, fair play, teammates swapping at the end there? Just to, did you give Stephen an opportunity to see if he could try and hunt Tony down and then reverse back?
Totally. I tried to gain some time, but I was just running wide, understeering, so I let him by for a bit, just to see if we can catch him.
Sure. Wow, it was good stuff to see. And what was your opinion of that little four-way battle? Because you were at the back of that. You looked like you kept constantly getting better runs out of the hairpin on Tony, but couldn't do nothing. You had to, it's not like you could brake too late because you had your teammate to worry about ahead as well. So, how was that for you?
Oh yeah, it was awesome. I didn't want to bother Steven, but I was just like, hang in there, buddy. I'm coming here to help. Yeah, it was awesome.
Of course, coming off the championship last season, I mean, this field looks strong this year.
Oh, I must say, it's tough. It's going to be a tough season.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it. What I do is I'll let your teammate do the shout outs for the team, if that's all right. So I'm going to come straight to him. Stephen, great race from yourself as well. How was your evening?
The first race didn't go according to plan, but that second race, that was quite enjoying. Made up for the first one. Gunter, he got me in the pit. I had fresher tyres. Should have made the move earlier on him and try to hunt down Tony, but yeah, Tony had way too much pace, and we had enough room from Chris, so I thought, give him the position back because I didn't really earn it. But yeah, besides that, it was an awesome race.
Yeah, good stuff. Do you want to give a quick shout out for the team?
Yeah, to the two forums, all our sponsors. We've got way too many. I'll be here all day doing it.
Good stuff. Thanks very much, mate. Chris, if we can come to you next, if that's all right.
Sounds good.
How was the car in that second race? I mean, obviously, you picked up a bit of damage, but then the guys were fighting ahead, and it was like the pint of the sea for you. You're like, well, thanks very much. I will take the lead back.
It was great to see. I knew I had straight line pace issues after the contact with Steve, so I was just trying to stay relatively close before I pit, and then once they gave me that pass, I thought, well, if I can hold these guys off, I might actually have a chance once I refresh the car. But didn't practice pit entry, blew a bit of time there, and then took too much fuel. So I was trying to gain back everything I lost from that.
Good stuff. And then, I mean, from the pit stop, you came out obviously in fourth. Was there anything you could do at that point, or was just the guys just had a little bit too much over you?
I felt like I was able to gain on them, but every time I started getting a bit of momentum, lap traffic was tough. Brenton O'Brien, he pitted late, and he was tough to pass, and that cost me about 2.5 seconds to try and stay with Doman. Once I got by him, there was that 3.5, 4 seconds gap, and it basically stayed like that. Might gain a little bit and then run into some traffic, which everyone was racing hard. So it's tough track to pass clean once you get in a rhythm.
Good. I mean, a good result, really. A couple of top 10s today, so good start to the season.
Sounds good. Cheers.
We often miss Kim out in our interview, so we'll come to you next. Congrats on 7th place. You happy with that?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Like you said earlier, it's a very strong field this season, so I'm pretty happy taking 7th in both races.
Now, you had Tanaka and Brandon sort of hunting you down at that point, and they just made that little mistake and you let them slip through.
Yeah, I ran out of skill at a very crucial point there. But, well, they were catching me at quite a pace, so I kind of doubt I would have been able to hold them off for the next 12 laps at that point anyway. But, yeah, it didn't look too good.
But, I mean, you have to forgive me and remind me, how did you get on in the first race?
I got 7th in the first race as well, so I got that in both races.
Okay, so 2 really good, solid starts as well for yourself. I mean, you were talking about how strong the field is. What's your plans? What's your target for this season?
Well, I'm going to keep trying to fight for the top 10s, maybe close in on the top 5s, definitely. And then, if I see an opportunity and got a pace on the track to actually go for it, then I'd be more than happy to take away a win, but just keep improving and keep fighting the faster guys, really.
Good stuff. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Well, I'd like to thank all the boys at STC for the job they do getting us through this, and all my teammates there, and of course our sponsors, so thank you to those, and PenPower for allowing us to do this series.
Good stuff. Right, as I've gone through most of them, I was going to come to Brenton, but I see he's just jumped out. So let's speak to Stephen Phillips. How are you, mate?
Good. Bit frustrated, actually.
Yeah, well, tell us. I mean, the first race, Andrew picked up on the stat that you were one of the highest movers in the race, moved up a lot. What really happened in that second one?
Yeah, we got taken out by Jake. He was coming back on the track, and that's a blind.
I remember that. Yeah,
that's blind, and then I hit him square, but it whacked the engine pretty good, and we were down on power for till the pit stop. We had a top 10 car. We should have been up there, so it's frustrating when that kind of thing happens with a front runner.
I suppose the important thing to take out of that is, I guess, well, one, it'll get looked at, and two, that you were able to at least finish, get yourself some points where it could have been like a bang and gone, and a retirement, an early shower sort of thing.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. So I'm thankful for that. But still, when you can get up there in the top 10 and go door to door with these guys, and then you're not able to do it, yeah, it's frustrating.
Right, sorry, I'm just sort of rushing through these right at the end here now. So yeah, thanks very much. And again, anyone you want to give a quick plug to?
Just my teammates at P71 and our sponsors at PenPower. Thanks a bunch.
Cool, thanks, Stephen. Victor, are you on mic?
Yes, sir.
Well, good first race from yourself. You must have been delighted with that. The second one, you picked up a fair bit of damage at the start. And we were having this debate whether you had pitted or hadn't pitted at one point. But the pace you were pulling out there, where did you lose ground at the start of the second race? Because I'm a little bit unsure, but really strong pace.
Yeah, there was no damage. I just missed the start. I was doing
that was why it showed as a pit time. Right.
So
right.
I pretty much had to wait for the start, and I started 30 seconds after everybody else.
What a great drive then, back up to 5th place from the back. Fantastic. I mean, I suppose it kind of helped. There was the carnage, but of course, with all that carnage, you don't get released, do you?
Yep, nope. And like I said, the the race starts, and then there's a 30-second countdown that I have to wait for. So it was pretty tough just sitting there. But yeah, I guess I have to pay more attention next time and be ready for the race starts, I guess. But the first race was awesome. It was pretty much a race-long battle with Jake. And I actually thought once he got past me, I thought he was going to go chase Tony, but I somehow managed to keep up with him. And yeah, and then at the last corner, he gave me half of a gap, and I had to go and take it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. And all fair as far as I was concerned as well. You know, open the door like that, you got to step through it. It has to be done. So, well, yeah, congratulations. Sorry, go on.
I hope it was, a little fair. I mean, I guess I pushed it a little bit too much, but I think he would have done the same thing, if it was
I think so.
The other way around, and I think I would have been mad too if it was the other way around.
Right, thank you very much. Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to as well?
Yeah, Never Quit Racing, great group of guys here, me, Tony, and Chris, and Mobility, our sponsors, and all that stuff, and always thankful for you guys to do another broadcast. You guys do a great job for that.
Thank you. Right, last but not least, Pete Bingham.
Hello, mate.
Hi, mate. Thanks for waiting so patiently.
That's all right. Did you actually get any footage of me back there?
I have to say, let me just find you on our list. Where are you? You were on screen today for all of 46 seconds, I'm afraid.
Awesome.
So yeah, it wasn't an awful lot. But why don't you tell us a bit more about it?
Well, second race was like the parting of the tides when what's his name, Michael, didn't actually take off at all, and everybody cleared all the cars out of my way, which was great. And because I'm one of the slower guys, I slowly got eaten up as I went around the track. So I ended up finishing 16th. Apologies to Katie for the first race because I stuck my nose in where it wasn't wanted there and turned her off the track. But other than that, I've had a really good race today. This is a really difficult track. Hardly any traction at all in the first race. A bit more in the second race, but when you're not as skilled as some of these fast guys like Tony, Doman, and co, sometimes you've got to be sharing the track very carefully. So I made sure I got out of the way of everybody.
So what's the thoughts, or where you're trying to target in this sort of the championship towards the end of the year? I mean, have you got any goals or anything like that? Or are you just going out there one race at a time and having a bit of fun?
Finishing races is the start of it for me. As we've progressed with all these seasons in the PenPower League, V8 ESC, we've attracted much better drivers, or in greater numbers. So that makes Tony sound like he's not a great driver. And we're the slower ones of us, the midfield and the back, we're getting muscled out of the top lot. But as long as we're enjoying the racing, that's the key thing. And if you're in it to enjoy it, then it's fine.
Yeah, indeed. Well said. Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
PenPower, that's my wife's business. They sponsor the league. To Phantom 71 and my teammates. We had various different luck today. And to Tony Scott, my father-in-law, who often watches these races. Thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting everybody who does watch this.
Nice said. Thank you very much. And on that note, I just would like to wish everyone a good night, really. Just going to head off. But yeah, what a great opening round of the PenPower Euro V8 series. And yeah, I know I can speak for Andrew when I say this. We just hope that we get a repeat of what we've had tonight for the next race. That race, yeah. Racing's been brilliant. There's just the odd little bit here and there, which is, you're going to expect that. But just a breath of fresh air from what we normally broadcast. So yeah, keep on bringing it, guys. We're really, really enjoying it. Right. With that, I will head to the adverts, and I will bid you all a good night.